Okay, hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Tania Gonzalez Ortega, and I'm here to teach you all about the Vimala handwriting alphabet and how to write it and to learn about all of the qualities of each of the letters. And what most people don't know, I would say I didn't know this, that each letter has a frequency, each letter has a declaration of intention, each letter is connected to an animal, an angel, a gemstone, an element. It also has a masculine quality or a feminine quality. And yeah, it's just absolutely magical. And when you start to learn how to write in this way, it has the power and the potential to bring out your positive soul qualities. So as a young person, I wish I had had this knowledge as a young person. I'm going to be 50 this year, and I only discovered this a couple years ago, but with my background in Waldorf education, it has absolutely transformed my life. And so this is a huge gift to those of you that are watching this and actually take it on as a practice. So I am going to start sharing my screen. And there we are. Okay, so let me start the slideshow. Great. All right. Technology is working for me. Okay, so Vimala Rogers, she is a genius. She's in her 90s right now. At the age of 2, she had an innate love for the letters of the alphabet. They just were in her, and she was obsessed with them. And she spent her entire life studying all different kinds of alphabets. And it is through her experiential knowing that she came up with a way of handwriting that is actually part of bringing in the new earth, which is what Gabby's all about, right? So here we go. So how to get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a blank. What you're going to do is you're going to get a blank piece of paper. You're going to need a blue ballpoint pen. This is very important. You don't want to write in black ink. Vilma always recommends blue ink or purple ink is fine, but you want it to be a ballpoint pen. And you're going to have your paper landscape oriented. So we've been taught to always write on paper that looks like this, right? Instead, we're going to write it this way. And the reason why is when you write this way, it allows for more creativity to come into your life. And I just invite you to have an open mind and an open heart and to have some fun. All right. Okay, so there's some very important things to note before you even get started with handwriting. Is you're going to honor, there's going to be the margins. There's a margin on the left-hand side, a margin up at the top, and a margin at the bottom. And you want to honor these margins because each of these margins have significance in your life. Bottom is all about, you want room to grow, you want room to be able to receive. When we write all the way down to the very bottom edge, we're not open to receiving, we're not open to be supported. So we want to leave a one inch margin there. On the left-hand side is all about family and the past. So if you write too close to the edge over here, you're getting stuck in the past. And also if you avoid it, if you're too far away, then you're avoiding connection from where you come from. So you want it to be an inch. The top is all about authority. So if you're writing way up at the top, you might have some resistance to authority. And then if you're giving too much space, you might be kind of like a pushover. So you want it to be an inch. And then the edge over here, you want to write all the way to the edge as far as you can without the letters falling off. But write as far as you can to the right. The right is all about your future. And so we want to be oriented towards our future. So those are the guidelines. Now, the other thing I'm going to mention is that when you write, because it's unlined paper, this is the other thing. You want to write on unlined paper because it's exercising your willpower and your ability to lead yourself. But at the beginning, it can be difficult. So you can fold your paper. You can fold it in half and then in half again, and you can use these lines here, the folds, as a guideline in the beginning. And over time, you won't have to fold the paper, but that's something that you can do in the beginning. Okay, so the first set of letters we're going to go over is the family of communication. So all of the letters, they live in groupings. They live in families. Just like you live in a family, I have a family. The letters also live together in a family. And so these letters here, the A, the D, the G, the O, the P, the Q, they live in the family of communication. And as you can see, these are the ways that the letters are written. So it might look very different than what you're used to. And I'd be curious to know from some of you if what kind of handwriting do you do? You do print script? Do you do block printing? Do you write in cursive? And so this is considered handwriting, cursive writing. And the reason why I want to do cursive is it brings out the highest potential. When you stay in print script, when you're only print scripting, that can really limit you in accessing your fullest potential self. Okay, I'm just want to keep track of time here. Okay, so we're going to start with the A. So the A, or the star A, is all about spiritual stardom, and it's all about transforming ego into spirit. So your ego is that part of you that can tend to be selfish and only think about itself. But we also have spirit. We have both. We have ego and spirit. And so this letter helps you to transform those things that are stuck in your ego into spirit, which is who you truly are. You are this expanded soul being. And the declaration of intent is, today I will notice how my personality affects others and will grow from that knowledge. So it's about self-awareness. It's about knowing how does your behavior and the way you are affect others. And as you write the A, it will teach you so that you can grow from that knowledge, grow from knowing like, oh, wow, I noticed that when I act this way, it makes my best friend feel this way, or my mom respond to me in this way. And so it gives us an opportunity to change. All right, so like I said, each of the letters are connected to different elements, different angels, different gemstones, different animals. And so the A is connected to the element of air, right? And the A needs space. It needs space and movement in order to thrive. So it's connected to the air. It's a masculine letter, so it's a very outgoing, it's soul-based. It likes to be in the center stage. It has no fear in shining and fully in who they are. The diamond is the gemstone. So when you think of a diamond starts out as carbon, right? But then when it becomes refined under pressure and time, and it turns into this beautiful, shining gemstone, which, like I said before, when we're transforming ego into spirit, that's like who we are. It's like the ego is the carbon and it gets transformed into spirit like the diamond. So it gets polished to where only spirit is shining. So the singular focus of the letter A is not I or me, but spirit expressing itself through me. Now, the animal that it's connected to is the dolphin. I love the dolphin. Dolphin is my spirit animal. Dolphins are so playful. They have a smiling face, they're carefree, and sensitive. They are fully aware of its ego-free self. They don't have any inhibitions. They don't care about what other people think or worry about what other people doing. They don't obsess over themselves. They're just free, and they love to have fun. And so, yes, the dolphin is an excellent communicator as well. So, when it clicks and things like that, then all the different noises that it makes. And, just like the dolphin needs air to breathe, it has a link between this world and the next, and they can communicate wordlessly on a deep intuitive level. I've had this experience with dolphins is they are able to communicate telepathically. And let's see. Yeah, and so the dolphin is the letter A. So that's the dolphin. And then the guardian protector is Archangel Gabriel. So Gabriel is the angel of rebirth. So Gabriel is the one who brings good news. He is the one who trumpets the onset of new life. And he urges us to slip out of the skin of the ego and to begin to express ourselves from spirit. That precious part of ourselves that has been set aside or denied for perhaps countless incarnations, yet in a roundabout way, they've been struggling to reclaim. So Gabriel is the angel. So when you write the letter A, that's the angelic being that you are connecting with as you write. All right, next one. The letter O. The letter O is my words are always kind and helpful. It is the letter of communication. And let me look at my notes here for the letter O. Give me a moment. I'll go on to the next slide. So the O is connected to the element of the ether. So here we have all the elements. I couldn't find a picture of ether, but ether is another word for spirit. So the spirit is formless. There's no form to ether. It just exists throughout the universe. Ether is all around us. The O is the second letter in the family of communication. And so when you think of communication, what the O does is it helps us to communicate in ways that never harms. We're always honoring the indwelling spirit of another. So we inscribe this letter when we want to be able to sensitively speak our truth in ways that honors the listener, right? We never judge. And it's also written in a clockwise manner, so we're always moving towards the future. The gemstone that's associated with the O is the emerald. And I'm just going to read to you this little paragraph about the emerald. So throughout history, the emerald has been accepted as the stone of spirit-sourced communication, founded in wisdom. In the Old Testament, it is the third of 12 stones on the breastplate of the high priest, representing wisdom. Thoth the Atlantean, known later as Hermes or Hermes Trismegistes, I'm going to butcher this name, Trismegistes in the Egyptian Greek tradition, and Mercury in Rome, were all acknowledged as pristine communicators. They all are represented by this stone. The emerald tablet of Hermes is well known. If heartfelt communication is a major issue in your life, do not wear a polished emerald. Wear one that is raw, straight from the earth with its energy intact. Beautiful stone. Now, the animal that's associated with the O is the hawk, and it's known as the messenger, the bringer of truth. The hawk is known for its acute vision and soaring capabilities. And the angel that is associated with this letter is Amitiel. Amitiel. And Amitiel is all about sensitive truth telling. So we're calling upon that angel when we're inscribing the O. Again, speaking to the indwelling spirit of another, and never speaking harmfully, never passing judgment, and releasing the need to be right. You know, that self-righteousness, that is something that we let go of. So that is the letter O. Okay, so the next one, sorry, I'm just checking my time. The next one is the letter D. The D is about positive sensitivity towards other people. And its declaration of intent is the cause of any upset I have is never outside of myself. So that basically means that you don't get to blame anybody for any reason why you're upset. If you're upset, it's because there's something inside you that's making you upset. You have the freedom to choose to be upset or not. So it brings us back into our power. So the letter D is connected to the element of the earth. It's grounded and clear. It has roots in solid, healthy self-image. The animal associated is the dog. And so the dog is, you know, always, I'm sure many of you have a dog. Dogs are always loving. They're so loyal. They're willing to protect you. They're always happy. They're okay if you're in a mood. They don't let that bother them, right? If you're in a funky mood, they just wait until you snap out of it, and they're right there for you to be there for you and to love on you. The gemstone is the quartz, one of my favorite stones. The quartz it looks plain, but it's very abundant, but it's also one of the most powerful gems on planet Earth. And it is used to transmit healing energy. And it's also one of the 7 precious substances in Buddhism. So it's used to attune ourselves to higher levels of consciousness. And the guardian protector is Ankanan. Interesting name, Ankanan. It's the angel of communication. So this angel acts as an intermediary in relationships. So it helps to foster compassionate and thoughtful communication, that it isn't self-conscious, but focused on the attitudes of the other person. So it helps you to tune into the feelings of other people and be able to communicate to them from that place of an empathetic attitude. Have you ever communicated with somebody that if you're not attuned to someone, sometimes you'll say things that maybe they're not ready to hear, or maybe you have a tendency to be direct that can be kind of off-putting. This helps you to tune into the other person so that they are more open to receive what you're saying. All right. Next one is the G. The G is all about prosperity on all levels of our being. And it carries the declaration of intent that everything in your life is a gift, everything. Even the things that feel like they're challenges or they're quote unquote negative things that happen in your life. The reality is that everything is happening for you and never against you. And it really helps that when you do come upon these situations in life that feel like they're really tough, if you can see them as a gift, then that prosperity can come pouring into your life. So the letter G is also connected to the element of air. It flows freely around us, but in unrestricted ways, and it's very much judgment free. The letter G. The gemstone is a blue sapphire, and it is also one of the 7 precious stones in Buddhism. And it's known for its ability to help us maintain a determination to stay on the spiritual path and to let go of negative energies to turn them into positive ones. The animal is the elk. The elk is known for its resolute nature. It has the capacity to endure and to keep going no matter what, right? So if negative judgments seem to be chasing you, maybe there's people that are saying unkind things that are bothering you. This animal supports you, and don't give up. Don't let other people weigh you down. Don't let the trials and tribulations of life stop you from pursuing your dreams. So to be like the elk, the letter G will support you. It'll give you a light and determined heart, paving the way to understanding, acceptance, and gratitude. And the guardian protector is Onium, angel of gratitude. And so, ask yourself, what do you give thanks for? Right? It's easy to give thanks for things that feel good, that are fun, like going to a park or being with your best friend or, getting to eat an ice cream cone. But what about the things that aren't so fun, like a toothache or maybe one of your friends who's not listening to you right now, or maybe you didn't get onto the basketball team, let's say. So this angel's job is allow you to see everyone and everything in your life as a gift, that it's designed especially for you, and to accept them as that, as gifts. So when something comes into your life that you wish would go away, you wish wasn't there, call upon this angel and see it as a lesson that will boost you on your path in life and bring you growth. So that is the letter G. Next letter is the letter P. The P is all about truly loving and appreciating oneself. The P is actually the most important letter in the alphabet, and its intent, and I'm sorry for the slide, my card had a ink smudge on it, but its declaration of intent is, I interact with everyone as though they love me. So the element is water. So water flows. It surges with power when you think of raging rapids, and then sometimes it's very still like a lake. So this is the water power of the letter P. It is connected to the porcupine, one of my favorite animals, so cute. So it is truly one of the sweetest critters on the planet. We've been brought up to think of her as an enemy, right? Because she's so spiky. It seems like, oh, she's just an attacker. That actually isn't true. She knows who she is. She goes about her business in a quiet, self-contained yet cheery attitude, and she leaves everyone else alone, which is the essence of the letter P. She doesn't bother anybody. She's a loving and nurturing mother. She protects. She does not attack. She's a slow mover with a charming personality, and she would rather be left alone. She's a vegetarian. Her favorite foods are greens, fruit, and tree bark. She does not shoot her quills. Something has to touch them, like the nose of a curious animal, before they become projectiles. And so once the quills hit their mark, the intruder leaves Miss Porcupine alone. So she never attacks. And the gemstone is the pearl. And so it's been known for centuries as the queen of gems. And it's been commonly treated as a relatively inexpensive decoration since the creation of cultured pearls in 1909. However, going back into history, the pearl was considered the most valuable of all gems at one point, the natural pearl. At the height of the Roman Empire, the Roman general Vitellius financed an entire military campaign by selling just one of his mother's pearl earrings, if you can imagine that. In his famous Naturalis Historia, Natural History, Pliny the Elder, the world's first gemologist, wrote that 2 pearls were worth an estimated 60 million sesterces, or the equivalent of $9,375,000. The pearl is also mentioned in the Christian New Testament as a merchant, when he found 1 pearl of great price, sold all that he had and bought it. And again, do not give that which is holy to dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them. So again, self-appreciation. That's what this one is about. Last letter is the Q. The Q is all about selfless service to humanity. It is, its declaration of intent is, I lighten the hearts and lives of those whom others pass by. So that really means, you know, paying attention to the people that tend to get ignored, you know, like the homeless or the ones that are less fortunate than you. So I am going to go on to the next slide. Just give me a moment. Trying to find my notes here. Okay, here we are. So the Q is connected to the element of fire. So fire burns. So as you practice the letter Q, your pen is extending the invitation to your subconscious mind to burn up a sense of ego-based self-importance. So if you're prideful, that's what this fire is doing. It's burning away that pride and feeling all self-important. So it brings you to be able to be open to others. Then we have the horse. The horse is a stately creature whose job is to convey its passengers from one place to another. So it carries people. So the horse symbolizes our spiritual nature, which is burdened by a body and an ego. And we use our egos to serve until, with hard work and goodly supply of divine grace, they are transformed into spirit. And the winged horse symbolizes the spiritualized body of mankind. Then we have the gemstone. The gemstone is the coral, and it's an organic gem, comes from reefs. And gemologists consider it the noble red coral, and reflects the commander-in-chief, the person who takes command of situations and accepts responsibility for getting the job done. And lastly, the angel is Uriel. He is the angel of selfless service. So when you write this letter, it's inviting you to clear your mind of selfish thoughts and to be able to focus on the heart of the project at hand. And this doesn't have to do with servitude. It has to do with service. Servitude is when, you're weighted down by other people's needs and feeling that you have to fulfill them. No, service is about truly helping other people from an open-hearted place. It's a selfless service to humanity. So that's the angel Uriel. All right, let me stop my share here and we'll come back. So now we're going to do the writing, and we're not going to do all those letters right now. We're going to just practice. I want you to practice the first 3. So in this writing practice, you're never going to do more than 3 letters at a time. You're going to be writing these 3 letters every day for the next week until we get to the next lesson. Excuse me. So we're going to start, remember, let me turn this here. So let's say this is your paper. This is the edges of your paper. So you have your ballpoint pen, and we're going to start with the letter A. So the A, what did I do with my sheets? I just pulled them out. Here they are. So the A looks like this, right? I'm comfortable when people compliment me. This is the movement. This is going to be the letter A that we're going to write. So again, remember there is a margin here, there's a margin here, and a margin here. So the A goes like this. Comes up, down, around, and loops back there. Lowercase is an oval, down. So you're going to write 2 rows. I'm only going to do 1. But I go nice and slow. I go all the way across until I can't anymore. All right? So I want you to notice that there's actually 3 zones in handwriting. So this would be, and I'm just going to write it here. So here's the baseline, right? Here's the mid zone right here, and this is the upper zone. So the A goes all the way up to the upper zone, comes down to the baseline. The lowercase a never goes above the mid zone. Now the letter O is this. We're just going to do these 2 here. We're not going to worry about that one right now. But my words are always kind and helpful. Now, if you notice, I'm doing it clockwise. We've all been taught to write counterclockwise, and we don't want to do that because when you write counterclockwise, you're going into the past. You're staying stuck in the past. You want to write it clockwise from the top. Never start from the bottom. Always at the 12 o'clock, going forward and around. So I'll demonstrate. So then the next line, starting at the top, going around, connecting to the top. Lowercase, same. And so it's not a circle, it's an oval. So again, nice and slow, and it might feel awkward at first, but with time you'll just get better and better. So there's the O. Next is the D. This is the D. I am respectful of others. So it starts with an I am stroke. Big, nice curve here. Crosses the I am stroke. Stops in the belly of the D. And the lowercase starts here. Down, around, up. Retrace it down. And there. You don't want any loops in your stem. That's the one thing in most people's handwriting is they put loops in the stem. You don't want a loop in your stem. You want it to be nice and straight. And the reason for that is when we have loops in our Ds, then there's things that are being hidden from our conscious mind. We don't want things hiding. We want the truth to be revealed. So it goes like this. So capital D is I am stroke. This comes down and around. Please notice there's a space. There's a space right here. It's not connected. Lowercase, all the way up, straight back down. Little space at the top, come down, around, stopping in the middle. Oops. It's a little bit challenging with the chalk. But see, notice I still have space for one more letter, so I'm going to write one more. Okay, so there you have it. So again, minding the margins, top, left, bottom. Do 1 page a day. And remember, you're going to do 2 lines of each, 2 lines of A, 2 lines of O, 2 lines of D. And if you're able to make the next lesson, bring me a sample of your handwriting so I can have a look at it, make sure that you're getting it down right. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at newearthconsciousness@gmail.com. And let me know if you have any questions. And that's it for today. We will go into the next lesson. We'll go right into the next set of letters, which is the G, the P, and the Q. So I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you're excited about handwriting as I am. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. All right. Bye for now.